15 years, it'll probably be too hot for anyone, any human being to be in Barbados for very long. 15 to 20 years. It's over. Everybody was thinking of the poles, the North Pole, the South Pole. That's where climate change, because the part of the planet that will die first is the middle around the equator, because that's where it has the least ability to tolerate large changes in temperature. So if you're going to muck around with the temperature of the planet, like we're doing with global warming, you're going to fry the tropics, where most of our biodiversity is. When I see young people, and sometimes I do public speaking and I talk to large crowds, and if there are a lot of youth in the crowd, I'll say to the kids, I'll say, get angry now. We screwed up, our generation, and maybe the generation before, we really screwed up. We put you guys in a horrible mess, and you need to not be polite about it. You need to stand up and say, what are you doing to the planet I live on? People don't realize is how very thin the atmosphere is. Most people don't realize if you got in your car today and you were able to point your car straight up and you just drove straight up, people think, air, it goes on forever. No, it actually doesn't. You know, you run out of breathable air pretty soon after you've had it up there. When I think about petroleum companies and how much power they have in the world, I think about the 1%, and I have 1%. The 1%, the ultra wealthy who control everything. I don't have much tolerance for people who have no sympathy or empathy for another person's situation. If you have no sympathy or empathy, then you are, in my view, a psychopath. And corporations can be psychopaths. With all the rules, if you're having a hard time, it's not their problem. Getting paid is their problem. They want to get paid for their services, their goods. But if you're having a hard time living with what corporations demand of the world, that's not their problem. I work in the environment because I actually truly believe that we're in a horrible situation on the planet. We're on a planet that is already probably just in an early stage of collapse. And what really drives me crazy is people will say to me, "Oh, Shelley, don't be so down, don't be so pessimistic, don't talk about these awful things that are going to happen in 20 years. People go, 20 years? 20 years, all of a sudden, where there will be whole areas of the world where you cannot live there. No one will be able to live there. It's like, don't worry about it, you'll be dead by then. How can you just say, well, I'll have a good time while I'm on planet Earth, but screw the rest of you after I pass away? It doesn't matter what happens to you. That's just a criminal act, in my view. That's absolutely criminal for people to even have that attitude. So it's the attitude. That attitude for me is something that I simply cannot tolerate. I cannot tolerate that attitude. If you're human and you're on this planet, you can't take that view anymore. Those days are gone. Those days are gone because our days are numbered on the planet.